Hey Eurovision fans, today I'm going to give you my analysis of the running order of the grand final of Eurovision 2025. I also went to the dress rehearsal earlier today, so I'm going to give you all my thoughts about that, how the show flows, and also talk about how this could affect who wins. So let's kiki. Hi, my name is Tom, I'm an Irish Eurovision analyst, and you can find all of this stuff on my Eurovision channel. So as I just mentioned, I was at the dress rehearsal today. I wasn't tweeting today, so I was able to pay more attention to what was going on. So yeah, we're going to go through the running order and see this effects, what are the special things about this running order, etc. Let me get the running order up. I can see it. That will definitely help this video work. Straight off the bat, I've got to say I'm a big fan of this producer's choice. I know there's some people who don't like it, but the reality is this running order is so good. There is no repetition in this. There's no repetition of genres or mood or color palettes at all. Every single song shines because the other two songs on either side are different from it. It just makes for a better show. I know there's some people who want to go back to it being a little bit more random, but this gives everyone the opportunity to just be based on the merits of what they're putting forward. We remember in 2022 when we had those like 5 gloomy songs followed by Tranella Tranella benefited massively coming second in the televote, and all those other songs just suffered. It was nothing to do with them, not their fault. It just so happened that there were too many of these gloomy songs in the second half, just random chance, and it really affected all of them. We don't have that now because the producers can put songs that are similar as far apart as they want to. I think it's much, much, much better. I think the sacrifice that's made makes for a much, much better show. It's really noticeable that for the entire program, you don't get a sense of the show dragging, that there's like a slow part of the show. Obviously, unless there's like a song that you absolutely and utterly hate, but like there's nothing the producers can do about that. No matter where they put it, you're going to hate it. I thought I'd forgotten them. I just put them on a chair by accident. Okay, oops. Okay, so this is the running order. You can make it look a little bit better. It looks a bit ugly like that. Why are they all fitting so easily today? Okay, so we're going to go through. Sorry, I haven't numbered them. You have the mental strength to work out what the numbers are. Okay.
Editing Tom here with a super quick message. If you're going to be watching the grand final tonight, there's an app you can use, eurovisionvote.party, where you can vote for all your favorites. It adds up all of your friends and family's favorites as well, so you get one final rankings. There's a free version of the app, but you can also get a paid version as well if you want more super cool features. If you're going to get that, use my link to buy it. You can get a little bit of a discount. It also gets affiliated to me, so you're helping to support this channel. Go check it out.
Let's start number 1. We have Kyle Alexander from Norway. I get this as an opener. It's accessible, it's in English, it's fun, it's got choreography, it's catchy, but it's not the best song. Really, really, really perfect. Also keep in mind, very important, voting is opening from the first song. So if people love Kyle Alexander, they can vote right from the start. This is our second year of doing this. We did do it way, way, way in the past before, but I think they thought it wasn't effective, so they stopped. They've restarted it again. Voting is opening right from the start of the final. So if you do love someone early, you can encourage your friends and family to vote for it immediately. So Kyle's opening, I think it was a great opener. Really good quality as well. It's Norway's National Day. Happy National Day, Norwegians. Yeah, obviously this is going to affect his chances. I've seen that Norway is now second in the last place odds. They were last place last year. It would be very unfortunate if that happened again. I don't really see this coming last, so I just think it's really good quality. I still think it'll get some Nordic points, some Nordic love. I don't think it's that forgettable. I think people will still remember when they see the recap. Some people tune into the show late, so viewership is down at the start. So you've got less of a pool of televoters to dip into when you're closer to the start of the show. Shout out to Dolphin Dane, who has this wonderful graph, which shows that he averaged up televotes. And if you're at particularly in the first 6 songs, you're at a disadvantage, and then there's a little bit of an advantage at the end. But no matter where you are in the running order, if you've got super great quality, you can do very, very well. And we see that any song after like 8th, 9th in the running order is able to win. And we can see that reflected in this because all of the favorites have been given pretty nice running orders, so they all have the chance to be competitive for the win. We're keeping up the energy, so we're starting with a really energetic song. We're keeping that energy going into Luxembourg. It just feels different. There's also fantastic variety in mixing between male and female artists and groups and single artists as well. Like if you look through this, there's no patches of all men or all women. Apart from here, we've got 3 lead female singers in a row. Other than that, We're getting constant variations. So this is just going to feel fresh. Everyone's going to shine here. I think it's really great. Okay, Luxembourg in here. A little bit sad that this is early because I don't feel like this is competitive to win, but I just think it looks really fun and exciting. So I think it would be nicer if it was given a better running order slot. But I also see how they want to start off the show with something really high quality, similar to Norway, but that can't win. It's also pop, it's accessible, but not in English. So you're being a very accessible mainstream pop song in English, and then in a non-English song, you've got a male and a female artist. It's just a really great way to tick lots of different boxes all in one go. And like this is just quality after quality. I think people tuning in who are like, are we gonna watch this year? They're going to see this and go, wow, that was awesome. And then they're going to see this and they'll go, that was incredible. Fabulous choreography, by the way. These are two of the strongest choreography songs this year. Okay, and then we have more fun. This is like one of the funnest beginnings to the show ever. I think they're moving away from having the second or third stop be a ballad, which historically has been the case. We've got Estonia, Tommy Cash singing Espresso Macchiato. A little bit sad that they've put him so early, because I do feel like this is one of the big televote contenders, and this makes life so much easier for Kai, because I felt like Tommy could have potentially eaten into their televote lead, and now he's been put super early. Another televote potential magnet's been super early, and so has another one. So like it feels like a lot of Kai's televote rivals are very early. I'm not saying that the producers are doing that on purpose. I believe there's reasons for this. Tommy is probably the one I see they could have put a little bit later. Maybe they don't feel that he's in contention to win, which I kind of agree with. Even though Estonia are seventh in the odds to win, I can't see the jury path at all. I can kind of see their mentality there is like, okay, this is a song that can't win. We need something that's like a real big wow buzz. And it's a little bit of humor as well. I feel like they're spreading out the humor. We got Tommy Cash here, we got Kai here. I think we've got a little bit of humor with Malta, a little bit of humor with Finland. We've got some humor with Vibe as well. So you can see that there's this really, really great spread of anyone who's got a little bit of an overlaps. I do understand it, but it's a little bit sad for Tommy. So we have this really fun, exciting opening. And then we go into Israel and then Lithuania. So there's a little bit more of a like gloomy period. Now, here I was thinking, okay, why are we following up a post-punk song with following up a pop ballad? So yeah, that's kind of the only bit where, okay, why is this like sudden back-to-back dip in energy? I think the reason for this is last year, Lithuania again performed after Israel, and there was this huge dip of energy in the hole. I don't think it's going to be as extreme this year, but again, I've been in the hole for semi-final number 2, and there is a big dip in energy. So I think they were thinking, okay, instead of putting an upbeat song afterwards, and having that person suffer and have the energy dip in the arena for them, they're saying, why don't we just put a low energy song in instead? And then the mood will be gloomy in the hole, but it's a gloomy song anyway. It kind of fits with it. It'll add in the audience are participating in the song. That's my logic behind it. It is a little bit strange that Lithuania, for the second year in a row, are following up after Israel. Sylvester Belt said last year that he found it really, really difficult. It affected him. I don't think it'll affect Catharsis. They seem much more kind of a little bit more emotionally mellow. But it is a little bit sad to see Catharsis so early. I would have liked to see them a little bit later. Then we have a huge change up. These songs are like polar opposites. If you had to pair up songs by opposites, I think this would be one of the first pairings that I would make. And funnily enough, this is probably another one of the pairings as well. So yeah, melody, absolutely wonderful. And also you need to keep in mind, we have a big 5 country. I don't think we're ever going to see a big 5 country performing earlier than 5th pretty much ever again. This seems to be a recent trend that they're giving them really good running order slots because it's a huge audience. Sponsors want the maximum audience, potential audience possible. That's one of the main reasons we have the big 5. And they want as many of those people tuning in. So they don't want them going too early or pissing them off. So we've got Melody there. I really hope Melody gets a great result. She's got a really wonderful show. It's very high quality production, great choreography, my favorite costume change that I can think of in Eurovision. I'm sure there's another one that's wonderful, but this is really excellent. I'll try and take a video of it tomorrow night because the way it's done is so impressive. And yeah, I really hope that she's got a great vocal and she's doing the most on stage. It's very extra. It's a bit over the top. That might put some people off. But this was second in the coming last odds. And then I checked it a little bit later and she'd really, really gone away. So people saying that they don't think she'll come last. And I think this could be Spain's first time being outside the bottom five with this head of delegation since she's been in charge. I'm wary that I always have this feeling, oh, this is the year when the big five all do well. And then there's loads of them at the bottom. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Next up, we have Ukraine, again getting an early running order. Last year, they were third. This year, it's a little bit later. And seventh, actually, according to Dolphins Dane's stats, is not that bad. Once you get to like 6, 7, 8, 9, you're kind of in the clear. You can still get a decent televote. Really interesting to see how big is Ukraine's televote going to be this year. I've seen a lot of people who actually really like the song because it is very unique and different. It's got a very special point of view. I really enjoy it. And I'm warming to the staging, actually. I don't think it's going to be a big televote, but it could be something that eats into Kai's televote points a tiny bit. So we've still got like a bit of decent energy here going into the UK. Now, there's an ad break here after Ukraine. I think it's just a regular ad break. So when the ad breaks are happening at home, we still get something happening in the arena. So sometimes it's hard to tell, is this an ad break or is it just them chatting or having banter? I can't remember what happens during that one. I think they talk about the Made in Switzerland going viral or something. The other possibility is that it's not an ad break and it's filler for something else. But it seems like a shame if it is an ad break because then we're going into the UK. And I think most of us assumed that the UK was going to be after something crazy, like after Tommy Cash or after Kai. So there could be a bit of a joke like, hey, what just happened with that last song? That was crazy. If this follows an ad break, that is like the worst possible use of that potential wordplay because it's like we just had an ad. It doesn't even follow anything. It seems like quite unfortunate. I don't know if there could be a worse running order for the UK. Following Ukraine, coming before Austria after an ad break. I don't know. I think they really need to nail the vocals to get those jury points because I think the televote score might be single digits. Who knows? It might surprise, but that's not my gut feeling right now. What's my gut feeling worth? In recent semi-final prediction videos, I don't know anything. Yeah, I was feeling a little bit worried for them today, but who knows? This could be like a big happy surprise tomorrow. Okay, next up is Austria. This really does pop after the UK because it feels a lot more kind of cool and slick and produced and cinematic. You know, UK, they highlight each other because the UK is a bit more real and earthy and kind of pantomime feel, whereas this is much more kind of feels more highbrow, arty. We're getting a 4-3 frame. I don't know. I'm not getting the winner vibes from this. You can win from ninth, particularly if you're a jury song, because the juries have to watch everything. Yeah, like if you notice that there's no repetition of mood here. We're going from this, they're so different. And then you look at the song after it, look at everybody and look at the two songs either side. They're completely different. So it means that that person's going to pop. I don't know why this is suddenly coming off all the time. It was fine this morning. So excited to see what the reaction is to Austria. That's one of my, the wildcard songs are one of the things that make the jury sequence so thrilling. How are they going to be received? You finally find out. Next up is Iceland. Again, total shift in energy. We're going from black and white to like one of the most vibrant, colorful shows in the whole performance with loads of choreography, loads of energy. Really nice that they've been given a nice running order. You know, they were opening up in the semi-final, so they're 10th in the actual final. Really, really happy for Vibe. I hope that they can get a decent result. Could this be a little bit of a success in the televote? They've definitely got a good placing. And if you look at the other songs that really make you smile, it's been a while since Tommy Cash. We've got quite a long time until Kai. So they're kind of in their own here in terms of really, really making people feel joy and happiness. Apart from Claude, but Claude does have like a melancholy feel as well. So it's not like a pure non-stop party feel. Following up from them is Tautomaitas. Again, a total switch up in the vibe. Now the thing is, Tautomaitas, I think I'm saying it right, I think it's meant to be like May, M-A-Y, is going to be unique wherever they're put. The advantage of having an ethnic song is you are always going to be special. There is a huge risk in sending that ethnic feel, but the reward is that you're always going to be unique and memorable. This is pretty great for Latvia being 11th. I think they could get a pretty okay score. Could this be something that the jury really loves? Again, an unknown entity makes the show really exciting. Very, very stark compliment to Iceland. Like, again, thinking of these pairings that feel so opposite, this feels really, really, really different. Followed up by Claude. So we're kind of going for like introspective soft into something a little bit more bouncy. I've seen some people saying they don't think this is a good running order for him, maybe because it's before Erica. I think he's very different from Erica. So again, it's tough being beside like quite a big attention grabbing song, but I don't think that this is particularly bad for Claude. It's the same running order slot that Duncan Lawrence had, isn't it? One thing I noticed with this, which I really loved, is that even when the camera's not focusing on them, the dancers are still dancing. Something about that, because often when the cameras are off, the dancers will walk off or they'll scurry or they'll get ready for the next mark. But the dancers here keep doing their choreography. And it's really nice because I think if you're Claude on stage, Claude Cloud, you'll be looking and you'll feel their energy coming across, even though the camera's not on them. Something about that I just really like. Or maybe they're dancing for the audience, or I'm not sure, but I just noticed it and it was something I really, really enjoyed seeing. Beautiful entry. This went up to third in the odds and then went down again. I have no idea why. It jumped ahead of France and then they did a switcheroo and now France went really far ahead. Would love if this can win. Absolutely beautiful. I think the path is Duncan Lawrence's path. Probably not winning either the jury or the televote, but being like the most consistent person and getting through, because I think jury and televote will love this because the song is so wonderful and his joy comes through. Next up is Erke Wigman. Where's the next ad? I did write it down. Oh, it's not for a while. Next up is Erke Wigman. She did her dress rehearsal today and there was a malfunction of the mic. And so she started ad-libbing. Oh, it was wonderful. I wasn't sure what was happening. I was like, maybe she doesn't want to get up on the mic because it's a rehearsal. In the dress rehearsals, they don't always come out in full outfit. Sometimes they're not wearing full clothes. A lot of them don't have makeup on, or their hair isn't done in the normal way. They're just kind of like going through the movements a little bit. She was fully dressed up, so I was thinking maybe she wanted to skip the microphone part. But no, it was a malfunction, and she just started like freestyling on the front of the stage. It was wonderful, and at the end of it, all of us erupted into Erica chant because it was so epic. And then a couple of minutes later, I thought it was an ad break, but actually they were setting up for her to go again because she had the malfunction. So she performed twice. We got to see Erica twice, which we were very, very happy about. There's something about this that's just super, super magnetic. I talked in a recent video about how Erica needs to find that balance of keeping the passion and fire of the song, but also trying to appease the jury. I think she's done that so well because this feels a bit less sexually confident and a more just like generally rock star confident. It just feels different. It feels like a winner. I was just looking at it, I was like, this is so quality and it just feels like a grade above a lot of the other entries. There's just something about it that's just next level. I'm not saying she's definitely winning, but I was getting that feeling like this is just pure quality. And I wonder, could the jury respond to that? Could they say, actually, could it also be an absence of people ranking this down? I spoke on Overthinking Eurovision about how any entries that are perceived as very overtly sexual have been ranked down by the juries. The absence of that means her average jury score is going to go up. So yeah, I think this is a contender. Very, very well received within the whole. This was the biggest cheer of the day. Again, another pairing, total contrast with Italy. Not a total contrast because they both do have like quite significant meaning, but in terms of musicality, this is obviously a lot more chill. And yeah, it's very risky. There's no LEDs at all. I did look because I was on the different seat today and it's just total switched off LEDs for the whole thing. Very minimalist. Some people are going to like that. We know that some people want something more stripped back, more real. Not everybody wants flashy LEDs. Intense energy, and then we've got some of the most intense LEDs, and then we have someone who's doing neither in between. 15th slot is Gaia Justina for Poland. A good slot for her as well. I hope that this can maybe get Poland a pretty decent mid-table result. Could they creep into the top 10? I'm not sure. But yeah, every run through of this is great. One thing is her vocal sounds very quiet every single time I've seen this in the verses. When we get into the louder parts, she's always very, very strong, but the like more bassy moments, it is kind of hard to hear her. And I thought that was just a rehearsal thing, but apparently people said that that's in the live show as well. Yeah, I don't know if that could affect her jury score a little bit in terms of them appreciating how strong she is vocally, because she is incredibly strong. Then we have Germany again. Look at this. Germany between Poland and Greece. So different. Wonderful. I think that Tina's vocals are more than passable. Personally, I did watch the live show back. I thought that they were enough. Really curious. This feels like another wild card. We can see how the big automatic qualifiers are pretty spaced, given pretty good running order slots because they've got huge populations. Greece following up that, a really nice slot for Greece, coming after Club Song. Totally different feel. And then also between this high energy. There's a little bit of a black and white overlap here, but it's not terrible because this does have red. Actually, this has a red moment in the middle as well, but this has gray and red. I love the LEDs at the end of Claudia's performance. She's got the dress reveal. These feel like real contrasts. Then we go into Park, Survivor. I'm so curious to see his scores. Did he come fourth in the semi-final or did he come 10th? I have no idea because it does feel very special. It stood out from the semi-final when I watched it back. Yeah, just giving us a little bit of just giving us an extra jolt of energy. We keep going from energetic to calm. That's like the general theme of this running order. So apart from the start where we start kind of high energy just to like get everybody excited. Going from that into Zoe, great. Between something that could be perceived as very hyper-produced and something that's like very vivacious, bold LEDs, she's going to really pop as someone who's much more stripped back and real and authentic. I'm hearing less buzz about people saying that she can win now. I feel like that kind of spike of excitement has dissipated a little bit. I think she's around 9th in the odds still. I don't see this winning, but it could do some jury damage, which could be very important if this turns into a televote winner versus jury winner situation. If she's second or third in the jury and she eats into Luann's lead or JJ's lead. We followed that with Malta. What a great slot for Malta. These are probably the two calmest, most serene songs in the semi-final. Italy as well, but that even has like a rock guitar and a harmonica in it. These are just like total mellow. And she's in there being loud and proud and bold and very sassy. This is really going to help it. It's not just the energy, it's also that big, bold pop feel between like a more chanson and Portuguese rock. Great opportunity for Malta to just get some decent televote points, build up that televote points confidence, which I think that they need to make them believe that they can win Eurovision again and be competitive and get top 10s. So great for them. I hope that this converts into something decent. Next up is Portugal. Again, wonderful contrast between two extremely upbeat pop songs. This is going to feel way more real, way more down to earth and grounded. Colors pop as well. They've got blues. They've actually got the same color palette that Zifferblatt originally had, in between electric pinks and blues and every color in the rainbow. So we've just got a really big contrast. Next up is Sissal. Can she get Denmark a decent result? I wonder how good this result is. How much is it going to energize Denmark? I was talking to Simon Falk, who's a Danish content creator for Wee blogs. We're talking a lot about Denmark. So this is one of the things I'm going to cover in the off season is what strategy does Denmark need to do to capitalize from this? I think them getting a decent result could help energize a little bit. They definitely need as much energy as possible. So I'm hoping this doesn't come last. I think my gut instinct is it'll be down towards the bottom 5. She's got a really good running order. So now I'm thinking, okay, that's probably less likely. She's coming after Portugal. She's coming before Sweden. You know, she's right at the end. We're thinking that viewership is going to be really high here, but people aren't too tired. You know, once we get to the end, people start to get a little bit more fatigue. You need to do more to keep their attention. People are tempted to go get a drink or go to the toilet. You've got a lot of viewers here, but it's maybe a little bit harder to keep them. Next up is Kai. Again, this might have been a production error, but for some reason there was a big break here after Sissal going into Kai. It doesn't take that long to set up the sauna, so I don't think it's because of that. But yeah, they were faffing around for a while here. Kai were great. Producers recognizing that this is one of the favorites to win, giving them 23, which is one of the best lots. Definitely be winnable from there. Also putting televote rivals. Finland were drawn first half, so that's the latest they could have possibly been, which was the same as Gary in 2023. He was also put as late as possible in the first half. Other televote rivals put much earlier, so this is definitely giving Chansakai to get a big televote lead. Is this the producers having a preference for a televote winner? I'm not sure, because I don't know if Sweden really do want to host again. I think they weren't particularly happy after Malmo. So maybe SVT are saying SVT don't want to host? I don't know. They're in terms of humor, they don't really have that too many people around them. Viewership is high. I think that people will sit around for this. I've seen lots of people saying they think that this isn't going to win. It feels like this year is very unpredictable. That would be fun if we did have a shock winner, someone different than expected. But at this point in time, they are the heavy favorites, and this running order definitely fits into that narrative that they are going to be the people holding the trophy at the end. Very interesting that one of their main rivals comes directly after them. It's our last automatic qualifier country, being given the best slot, I would argue, of all 6 of the automatic qualifiers. Switzerland's was drawn, so that wasn't a choice. That was drawn from a hat. France are put directly after Sweden. For some reason, there is another ad break here. So we have an ad break, and then we have Sweden, and then we have another freaking ad break. I hope that this was like some sort of production mistake, because it is so off-putting to have, you're almost at the end, ad, Sweden, ad. Maybe someone can clarify that in the comments if they've heard something from another content creator. But I don't know why they didn't just put France there and then do ad break France and then go into Sweden. They've changed the setup of this. It used to be like a ring with sand in it. Now it's a giant cloth and the sand is in a circle in the middle of the cloth. So when they're done, they just kind of wrap up the cloth like a picnic blanket and then lift up the sand and carry it off. I think they've realized that they need to make it quicker, because I think it was taking 4 minutes to set up, which is way too long. You're meant to have like 30-40 seconds between. In any case, potentially another outbreak here, unless they sped up how things are going. Hopefully enough people stay around to see this. I think there's a big thing of who's going to win the jury. Austria are currently the favorites. France feels more stable, more reliable jury winner. Then how much of a lead have they got over Austria and over Sweden? And then that lead, is it enough that can Sweden catch up? Can Austria catch up in the televote? So there's still some fun questions going on here. I think at the end of the jury show, we're still going to be in an exciting place. I don't think it's going to be like Nemo and Loreen, where it's like, okay, this is pretty much over. Because even if Luan does get a huge jury score, I think Kai can definitely make it back. And Austria feels like a bit of a wild card that could do a surprise as well. I think it would be fun if we had like maybe the three of them break away in the jury and then duke it out in the televote. Maybe have someone as a wild card coming in as well. I hope it's just a little bit more of an exciting show. I'd like a little bit more surprise. We don't want the contest to just be so predictable every year that it's between A versus B. Next up is San Marino. I saw Christopher Bjorkman doing an interview with the Eurotrip saying that yes, this is the more obvious song to finish with because it's a party song, but they wanted to finish with Albania. So that's good. It's a good running order slot for San Marino. Can they get their best result in Eurovision ever? 19th is the previous record by Serhat. This is definitely a possibility for them. I think that the jury will give this some points. It's not trash or anything. It's like a fun, upbeat song. It's got a professionalism on stage that I think the jury could give it a little bit of love. Italy's going to give it probably 24 points. But if it does get 24 points, that's a really good start towards them getting 18th or better, which would be their best result ever. So this is really exciting. And I like that they've been given a good running order draw instead of being put first. And then that finally means that we have Shkoda Elektronika closing. Now, a lot of people were panicking when they saw this online saying, oh God, they're in the death slot at the end. Christopher Bjorkman said he put it there because he wanted to finish on a classy note. My analysis of the song coming last is you do have to work to maintain people's attention. People are exhausted. They know it's the end. Here they know it's close, but they know that it's the end after this. So they're very tempted to go get a drink. If they watch the first 5, 10, 20 seconds of your song and they're not feeling it, they're going to go to the toilet because they know that they're not going to miss the next song because there's nothing afterwards. I think this is strong enough to maintain enough people's attentions. Powerful, it's gripping, it's visually strong. They perform it excellently. Beatrice is an absolute goddess. And it starts well. So I think it's going to intrigue people and they will sit around for this. You can win the televote from the last slot. Ivolo did that. But they were powerful and they were gripping and they grabbed your attention. Whereas someone like May Muller, or sorry to pick on the UK, but Molly Smthngnw. Colleen closed as well and she didn't do well either. You've got to be wow. You can't just be a little bit good or a little bit okay. It's got to be bam, wow. Grab people's attention right from the start, because the temptation for them to go to the toilet is absolutely grand. Making it sound like all these people are chronically going to the toilet. But often people have a lot of drinks, which makes you go to the toilet more. So I think that Albania can still get a decent result being here. I also think that viewership is going to be really, really high. This is also one of the very few countries from Southeast Europe. We have Greece, we have Albania, we have none of the former Yugoslav countries. And this is maybe them making it up to Albania for being drawn early so much. They have a reputation for being drawn in the second running order slot. So maybe this is the producer saying, hey, you know, if you send something that's a little bit more interesting and competitive, we will give you a running order slot. Because in fairness, Albania has sent a lot of female ballads and female power songs. I'm not going to put the graphic now, but I've shown it on my channel before where their entire catalog is pretty much all female. It's pretty much all female artists apart from Ujum, Bush, Peppa, and then Family Kelmendi. So maybe this is the producer saying, hey, nudge, nudge. We're giving you a good running order slot. We're acknowledging it. I also love this ending because it's a song about hope. And we tend to finish the show on an upbeat, positive hope note. Perfect example is Stefan singing Hope for Estonia a couple of years ago. This is a fabulous running order. It really does let everybody shine. Like I said, I challenge you to find two songs that have a big overlap back to back. The only instance I can see is that we have two mellow songs, but I already gave you the reasoning why I think that is earlier on in the show. It's wonderful. Everyone can pop here. Voting starts right at the start of the show. Yes, the countries who are in the first six have gotten a little bit of a bum deal. Hopefully the early voting will offset that a little bit. 6 people need to start the show. That's just the reality. We need to put pressure on viewers to be more punctual. Don't miss the start of the show. Get in early, no excuses. I do get messages from people all the time saying I missed the first 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 songs. It just happens. Really, really great show. I hope that wherever you're watching it, you have a wonderful time. I may do a video tomorrow. It's Friday night when I'm filming this. I'm so burnt out. I also want to do some stuff around Basel. I literally have not seen anything. I want to go see a building or something. I don't know what they have to offer, but I want to go see it. I might do a small short video tomorrow. If I do any videos tomorrow, they're going to be 8 to 10 minutes maximum. So if I don't see you tomorrow, have a really, really wonderful show. I will be doing a couple of tweets from the arena. Hopefully going to have a couple of drinks with the Aussie Vision crew. But yeah, I hope that you have a great time wherever you're watching it from. Of course, I'm going to do a grand final summary analysis. I don't know if it'll be on Sunday or Monday because I think I'm going out on Saturday night. I have a Euro Club ticket. It's the only ticket I bought. I didn't buy tickets for any other days. I've been a very good boy. I think I might be less of a good boy on Saturday night. So you will see me, don't worry. I'm not going to disappear. Make sure you subscribe so you get notifications when all that stuff pops up. And tell me what you thought about the running order. Who benefits? Who does it hurt? Who's going to win Eurovision? Comment down below. Thank you to those who've been supporting me on PayPal and Buy Me Coffee. If you want to support the channel, I'll leave a QR code over here and a link in the description. And of course, thank you to all my wonderful Patreons for patronizing me from all around the world. Go check out my Patreon for loads of Eurovision stuff. And also shout out to my YouTube members. Thanks so much just for being here. I'll see you in another Eurovision analysis video very soon. Goodbye.